Epic Rap Battles of History. Aaron, Nagel, Larson, Epic Lloyd! Begin!
I admit, like I was just standing on, we're waiting for Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones.
I know, I saw him walk by.
Yeah, so we're waiting, and then all of a sudden, you know, everyone's looking at Jaime Lannister, and I'm like, that's Lloyd!
That's cool. Yeah, sorry I missed the interview last time. By the time we got to New York and stuff, in the middle of everything we were doing, Pete and I would sometimes just trade off and be like, man, I got to set up and do sound check today, and you do the interview this morning or whatever. So
well,
we in a situation like that.
We had Pete on, I think it was for the beginning of season 4.
Oh,
right?
Really?
So a while back. And then you guys were coming to New York, and we were trying to make all the coordinations with Maker Studios to get you guys in New York, and you guys just had such a hectic schedule because you were leaving right after that show to go Boston or somewhere after that.
Yeah, probably, yep.
And so it was hectic, and I understood that, you know, you're a man of that's in high demand. It was on tour. A lot of things going on. You don't have to wear the headphones if you don't want to.
I didn't know that. I was like, oh shit. Anyway.
Much like me, you wear headphones for a living, and sometimes it's nice not to have to.
Yeah, my ears can be free.
Have
I
to
can
do
wear
it.
my fancy hat that I wore.
You could.
I just realized I wore this damn hat, and like I can't wear it with the headphones up. Anyway.
You just need the glasses, and you're Breaking Bad. You're Walter
I
White.
have the glasses. I mean, if we want to go there. They just had me wrap a bunch of characters inside there, so. Bill O'Reilly's the only guy who doesn't have a super big character. Like this, these ones, there it is.
Good.
I mean, now we're...
Thank God they're not hipster tinted blue.
Oh,
I was
fuck.
really going to be like, what are you doing?
They look a little blue on this side, but I think that's just the UV ray.
And that's fine. I'm talking about the pale blue where they're trying to look smarter than they really are.
No.
Wearing the pork pie hat.
No, I don't want to be a hipster. Please, God, I don't want to be a hipster.
I guess we should do some kind of introduction. We're talking to Epic Lloyd.
Yeah.
From one of my favorite things in the world, Epic Rap Battles of History.
Yeah.
I constantly playing it on my show.
Oh, yeah?
All the time. Every time you have a new one that makes sense to play on the air, we're going to break with it. I've been fascinated by this whole thing for a few years now until I'm trying to remember how we actually... Oh, I remember. We accidentally stumbled upon the episode where Weird Al was Newton. And for some reason that went... Not a lot of your videos do go viral, but this was back in the day when that one was everywhere. And we're watching them like, wow, this is amazing. And then I went and checked out the whole series. I'm like, this is awesome. You did Key and Peele. You did, mocking of Neil deGrasse Tyson, because I got a chance to talk to him about that. He thought it was awesome.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Because the other guy in that video is Charlie Tuna, who is from Jurassic 5, and he looks so much like Neil deGrasse Tyson. And we were hoping that Neil... Can I call him Neil? I'm going to call him Neil. We were hoping that Neil...
Call him DG.
would enjoy them if he saw them, but I figured that he
we had him in here maybe a year or so ago, and that was the first thing I asked him. Like, did you see your portrayal in Epic Rap Battles? And he goes, I did. And I said, what did you think? And he goes, I don't know why they didn't ask me.
Nice. Man.
I'm like, well, how are your rapping skills? He's like, well, you'll never know now because they haven't...
Well, we could have a sequel, I guess. There's been a couple of sequels, so maybe
if you ever bring back Neil deGrasse Tyson, you bring back Charlie Tuna, and then all of a sudden, and then Neil shows up and debunking the other Neil.
Right, it's like a weird time and space thing.
Yeah.
Perfect, we're good.
It's almost like Doctor Who. It's weird timeline crossings. You guys have been so successful with such a fun... And I guess started out as a simple idea and then turned into a whole theatrical production where I love the ERB2 channel where you're showing behind the scenes. And, you've got makeup people. You've got people that go out and seek props and costumes. You're a full-fledged production. Yeah. And when everyone bitches and complains that you do, I guess, the half seasons, where you're like 6 episodes here and then you got to wait a while. It's like, takes a lot of time to do these 3-minute videos. Everyone thinks it's so easy to stand in front of a green screen and some Photoshop and you can get it done.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. I mean, the first video we shot for $200 on a green sheet in front of a wall with 3 people. But as the production grew and as the viewership grew, we got more and more complex, and it would have been sort of silly not to grow.
Right.
So by the time where we're at now, we have a big team of people, and we work with such like really talented people and Pete, who's the director, he's overseeing everything, and we're always bouncing ideas off each other, and I'm looking at stuff. But it's definitely like I always say it's like football, not baseball. Where baseball, there's lots of games, and people go to games and stuff, and then when it gets to playoffs and stuff, they watch. We always kind of considered our show football, where it's like, let's just make everybody watch every game. And that's what we did with the videos.
I thought you were going to say like every 30 seconds you're taking a commercial break, you know?
We all had
Like they
concussions.
just were getting motion, and oh, Greg, here's another commercial.
Yeah.
Amazon, we get it.
I know.
Wouldn't it be great with all the success you had that the production quality actually started going down to the point where you're so lazy, where you're just like, you know, you're standing outside behind the studio, you're just in the alleyway there, and you're just reading the raps, and you're like, these guys are making so much money, so many,
they still love
millions
it.
of people watching it, and they're just really taking a nosedive.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that ever happens, let me know. That'd make my day a lot more.
That'd be a great April
filled
Fool's
with
joke
time.
if you put one out that was just so incredibly bad. And you're just seeing all these horrible comments, and then you reveal in the next one that it was an April Fool's joke.
That's a pretty good idea, actually.
Well, you guys are never short for ideas. I mean, you do have tremendous writing sessions from what I'm doing, and it takes a lot of research and time. And I think that's one of the things fans appreciate about what you put into it, because it's not just like, for those who don't know, a lot of their ideas, you do stuff at the end of your videos where you show captures of Twitters or YouTube comments when
yeah.
people are suggesting this particular matchup, and then you tweet out stuff too. It's like, hey, going into the season, list your comments. Who do you want to see? And you get the ball rolling from there. And then once you got the concept, and then you do all this amazing research, like, because if you just, and the cool thing too, you put the lyrics across it. Like if you were
that always helps.
muted, you're seeing what they're saying in case they're going, like, you sometimes you go really fast, or sometimes there's an accent and you're not picking up exactly what they're saying. Like when Zach Sherwin goes nuts, and you're like,
fast.
oh, it's a Zach rap. I gotta slow it
His
down.
Voltaire is like incredible.
The amount of research, I think people really appreciate the work you put into and the references that you pull for this stuff, especially when it's not a pop culture matchup, it's a historical matchup, because a lot of people aren't going to know half that shit anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, we always do it like a tier system, like the SATs. Like we do like a pyramids type of a thing where there's like surface jokes that like Voltaire is maybe a really tough one, but like if you do like a Bruce Banner joke or a Bruce Jenner joke, everybody's gonna know 3 or 4 buzzwords, you know what I mean?
Right.
Then you do like the second tier joke, which is like, okay, if you were around during the Olympics, or if like you were a big comic book person, you'll probably know these second ones. And then we always have to get in like a couple of like really intense ones, like, you know, Bruce Banner was actually named Bruce Banner, and they changed it to David Banner for the TV show because they thought that Bruce was like too homosexual of a name, or that he killed his father, or something that's like really in there. So then if you can get support of like the Uber fans, usually that sort of trickles down or up, wherever things trickle. It trickles. So.
And you've had some great contributions to some of the videos too that weren't just your circle of guys who were writing and producing appearing in that. The fact that you got Key and Peele for a couple of episodes was huge. Right at the time when they were, you know, peaking with the Key and Peele show. I mean, to get them on board to do the Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali one is brilliant.
Yep.
The Martin Luther King versus Gandhi one's brilliant.
Yeah.
Then you get Snoop Dogg in one as was it Santa Claus?
Moses
sorry.
versus Santa Claus.
Yeah, and to get these guest stars to pop in there now, I imagine starting off was luck of the draw. You know, like you're reaching out and like, wow, they were cool enough to do it. Now, are you getting people saying, hey, I'd like to do something with it?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of reach in terms of like the success of the show speaks for itself. So, and you know, Snoop was always a guy who was trying to be ahead of the curve and stuff. So he was getting into digital maybe before a lot of other MCs were. Key and Peele, same thing. Like everybody was starting to see what was going on. So it's always been, and that was one of the reasons why making less videos was always better, because you didn't have to show them 20 videos to be like, no, here, it's cool, check it out. So, and we also always kept the importance of like other digital stars, like other YouTubers, Jenna Marbles, or
she does a show here too.
Does she really?
Yeah,
oh,
on our Hits One channel, which is our top 40 channel.
Right on.
She does the YouTube 15, so each week she counts down the 15 biggest songs on YouTube.
Yeah, or like Rhett and Link, or any of these people. It was like that was always like YouTube is our home. We're loyal to that place. We want to show respect, and also just we love working with these people. So, and then it also like helped us to do other things. Like I got this other show that I'm doing now, Epic Studios, which drops tomorrow, youtube.com/EpicLloyd. But like Zach helped me write a lot of the songs for Epic Studios, and I was able to like bounce ideas off of Pete and stuff like that. So it really was nice to make those relationships and make people look great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was always the goal.
You mentioned Rhett and Link. For those who don't know, another big YouTube sensation with their Good Mythical Morning program. They just did The Tonight Show. I mean, that's huge for somebody who started on YouTube to and to see their history too, when they were just, where'd they grow up? North Carolina, something like that together?
Yeah. And they've been friends since like second grade or something.
That one is unheard of, to be friends with someone that long, but two, to be writing partners, creating partners. To have a YouTube channel that's successful, even nowadays, is hard to do. To get to the Tonight Show, is
I think they've done it twice. Too,
it's like, oh my God, what a story! Why aren't you guys on that? Has nobody reached out to you?
No, we did James Corden. That was cool. That was really
that's right.
good.
You did. You did Skrillex versus Mozart. Yeah.
And I just did Sway in the Morning, so that's pretty good for me. I think that like we've had talks with the late shows and stuff. It just hasn't worked out for one reason or the other, or like, I don't know.
See, because this is what's bugged me about the work you guys do. The James Corden thing, okay, fine, you were on a show, but you were there for a performance segment because it was centered around YouTube personalities, so it really wasn't time devoted to you. It was allowing you to perform on their time, if that makes any sense. Where Rhett and Link were booked to spend some time with them. But what you guys do, any late night show should have been smart enough to see what you guys do, because it's a video format, to say, hey, let's work out a deal where you have a new video, maybe, once a season or something like that, you come on, you debut the new video on the late night show, get a whole, massive following from mainstream media, and then they follow it on the YouTube channel. I don't know why anyone hadn't picked it up. If I had a late night show, that would have been one of the first things I picked up.
I mean, I think there were those opportunities like this, and this is all due respect to all of those mainstream outlets. It wasn't the most important thing to us. The most important thing to us was always making good videos and debuting a video and then performing it live on like a Fallon or something like that, and also then uploading it the next day. Like it might be. Well,
I'm not even saying performing live.
Well, that's always what they would want us to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was going to say have you guys on the couch, talk to you for a tiny bit about going into the new season. Here's the kickoff. They show the production. Yeah. And then it's available. Right now it's available on your YouTube channel. So if they just saw it on TV, the next morning when people want to binge it, they go right over to ERB on YouTube, and and instead of eventually getting up to 60 million, you're starting off, with 20 something million just because you're on television.
Well, my secret weapon has always been Conan versus Conan. So when we do Conan versus Conan, I'm gonna call Conan and be like, "Hey, man, you got to put this on the show." Because Conan the Barbarian versus Conan O'Brien, I think that would be the best rap battle of all time.
I'm gonna send you a clip if I can. I swear to God, a couple years ago, I told Pete, when he was saying, well, what would you suggest for some of the rap battles? Yeah. One was Ice Cube through the stage of his life from NWA to doing, Are We There Yet?
Right,
we can see all the trailer, and it's just different versions of Ice Cube fighting with each other. Like, what the fuck happened to you?
Right.
The other one was a battle of late night where
that's been in, like, we always have, like, we get so many suggestions now that we can sort of find what we need, because we'll get like 200, 300,000 suggestions on each video.
I know.
So if we have
I felt bad too. If he had not asked, I wouldn't have offered.
No.
Because I know everybody's problem. Weird. You got the Weird Al problem. Wherever he comes up, he's like, it'd be a great parody song, and he's like, oh really? Yeah, okay. Thanks.
I mean, I don't look a gift horse in the mouth at all. Like my dad gives me ones too. I guess my point is we were gonna do a late night one. It just was on the very short list of things for I think last season, and it. For one reason or another, it didn't make the cut. So
that's a great halfway point or season finale, because I mean, you go through who's there now, then you go back to Letterman and Leno, and you go back to Carson, and then for some reason Steve Allen shows up. Like you got a whole history of it.
The only tough part about that, and there's a challenge to every rap battle, it's hard to write comedy for comedians. So if you do like a parody of a comedy, it's a little bit tougher. We've done it before. But that would have been the hard thing. The other one that I really want to do is just comedians in general. Carlin, Hedberg, just Cosby comes in, Joan Rivers roofies him, then they both die. All that stuff. So that was another one that has sort of been on in the stratosphere to maybe do.
Just a couple more questions, then I want to talk to you about Epic Studios.
Yeah, please.
A few more with Epic Rap Battles here. One, when for those who don't know, Maker Studio got absorbed by Disney, which is an amazing thing to happen. You did that episode of Jim Henson versus Stan Lee, which are Disney properties. And then at the end, it's no spoiler, it's been out for a while.
Yeah, sure.
Old Walt Disney shows up and saying, "Get back to work. This is my show now. I own." And then Zach had I own this whole series.
Yeah.
Any flack for that because you've taken shots at Disney?
No.
They were kind of cool with it?
Everybody was cool with it. I mean, the cool thing about Disney is that, and maybe the producers that work for the show probably have a lot more, probably felt the change a lot more. But for us, we didn't really feel anything. No one ever called us up like, you can't do this, you can't. We never got any of that. They've always been really cool about being like, this is y'all's show. It became successful because of what you guys were doing. I feel like if Disney didn't want us to do that show, they would probably just cut us loose, which they never did either. So we didn't get in any trouble about that. I think some people maybe at Maker got a little bit more nervous, but no one ever said anything.
You just told them that they're grinding out stuff, because at the end it's a pullback of artists with easels, and it's every property that Disney owns, and you're just saying it's a factory where they're just grinding out stuff that people are just going to buy because it's under the Disney name. And I'm like, that is such a ballsy move to welcome in your parent company.
We had to do it. You have to do it. It's the same thing with any other you either don't do Disney or you say the actual thing.
I was working for a radio station back in the 90s where mid to late 90s where Disney came in and bought ABC Cap Cities, who I was working for.
Okay.
They bought all the ABC properties in the radio division. So we're like, wow, Disney, we're going to get some cool stuff, Disney. We came into work and there were in our mailboxes were the Mickey hats with their names on it. That was it. No bonus, no nothing, no discounts, no, if you're now an employee, you go down to the park, whatever. Nothing. It was hats, and it was like, get back to work.
Wow. Well, no, I mean, everybody, I'm not an employee of Maker, so we were always just partners at the company.
Oh, you're a subcontractor.
No, I mean, it started in a weird time for YouTube because everything was being formed, but there were these partner channels, so we were in partnership. And then when Maker got bought by Disney, a lot of our people became employees, and they got all kind of free tickets to everything and all that stuff. So they got health insurance. So I think it was a good deal for a lot of people.
Well, I just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Sorry, bro. Fast
forward 20 years and everything's all roses.
Right.
What were doing that amount of work? What were some of your favorites? I mean, I'm sure you get asked that a lot.
Yeah, no, I like that. Al Capone was really fun for me. I got Italian relatives on Long Island, and it was a very fun character for me to play.
Was it weird to have did people try to figure out the Assassin's Creed tie into it, not realizing that it was a buy-in?
No, honestly, that's one thing we've always been pretty good at. We don't do a lot of them, and it made sense. People who like our show love Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? And Pete, like I said, Nice Peter, he's Nice Peter. It sounds so weird to call him Nice Peter when he's not here. But he's great about just quality control and making it work and stuff. So, but that one was good. I really loved Terminator. We have such good makeup and hair people that Terminator, I was like, that's gonna be cool. And then I came out, I was like, holy shit, I look like the Terminator. I like William Wallace. Walter White is really fun. Tesla, I played Edison. Edison was really fun to play. I'm one of those guys who doesn't really work a ton on the character until I'm sitting there in the makeup chair or whatever for a couple hours, and I just transform into this person, and then sometimes it just clicks really cool. It sounds so artsy fartsy, but it's that Edison character was just I never would have thought that's how he was going to end up being, and then it just kind of came out that way.
I'm sure people also tell you their favorite ones as well, and I'll be no different. I loved your portrayal of Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, thanks, man.
Doing the chocolate syrup thing like that. And I'm like, that's just those small little details you never think of to add into there, and then it gives so many layers to what you're doing. And even though it seems dumb at the time or small and insignificant, you watch it, and you're like, that really made something pop.
Yeah, squeeze screams out of chocolate syrup, man.
Yeah,
that was 9 hours in makeup. That one. That was the longest and hardest one, but I knew it was going to be worth it.
Your Bill Gates one versus Steve Jobs was great, and even in the last season, I've watched this so many times. Was the Teddy Roosevelt versus Winston Churchill?
Yeah, we had to do him right because he's like the anchor man. We've had this idea to do a show called ERB News. Well, I mean, it's on the BTS channel, but like to actually make a news show out of it.
Yeah,
and like Teddy Roosevelt would be like the Ted Koppel or the the anchor. And
well, I loved it as your news updates about what's going on for at least for the last couple seasons, where he would give you the updates of what's coming up, what's new, where you subscribe, you have T-shirts, there's a concert tour, something like that.
Yeah.
By having this former president be just such an unstoppable badass. He's like, I will beat up everybody.
He's the best.
Just a great portrayal.
Thanks.
Let's talk about Epic Studios here.
Yeah.
Is this... what's under here? Are you bringing back Dis Raps for Hire?
Dis Raps for Hire is a different show. Like my YouTube channel, like Rap Battles is on a little break, which is great because it gives me time to do other things, which I've wanted to do for a while. Dis Raps for Hire is a show, and it's successful, and I'm going to keep doing that. Epic Studios is a chance for me to do more acting and storytelling. So it's like a workplace comedy that takes place in Toronto. And my friend Aaron and his wife Jill were 3 years ago. They were like, "Yo, let's kind of think of an idea of like a show that we can write for you together that would be fun to do." So it's about this guy who inherits a failing recording studio up in Toronto, and then he has to just kind of make it work. So it's got Kevin McDonald.
You're getting a little meta in there, aren't you?
Well,
you have a studio
maybe.
that you're trying to make work, and then I'm like, how about I do it? Yeah. That's like Kevin Smith. It's like, I grew up as a clerk trying to make it work, trying to film. Now, how about I shoot a film about clerks working there trying to make it to shoot a film?
Well, I mean, if it was super meta, it would probably be a comedy club for me because I own a comedy club, Westside Comedy Theater, Santa Monica, California. And that...
Oh, yeah, I did know that. You had Adam Sandler show up.
Yeah. Everybody's been
I saw
there,
that online, yeah.
But so that would have been a little bit more close to home, but it is kind of like that. It's almost like if Cheers took place in a recording studio and then had a little bit of like Flight of the Conchords in it or something.
Okay.
So there's a song in every episode, and there's a rap song, pretty much a rap song in every episode, but it's great. It's really funny. It's 13 episodes. We drop the first 4 tomorrow. And it's on my channel, the Epic Lloyd channel on YouTube. And then we do small batch uploads every Wednesday for the next 4 weeks. And then, it'll be great. We'll have all the songs. You can download them. And it's really high quality. I think it looks just like there's a lot of YouTube Red shows out there now and a lot of like other sort of paid subscription shows. And this one is just free like regular YouTube. So I think people will like it.
New York Comic Con, I talked to one of the co-creators of Maker Studios. He just put out a movie with Logan Paul and Peyton List for YouTube Red.
Is he
The Thinning? Michael?
I'm
forgetting his last
Gallagher.
name. Yes, Michael Gallagher. I talked to him about that. He was a big fan of your production.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know
if
you ever cross paths or work together, but
I know him we would see each other at all the parties and stuff. We haven't done a show together yet, I don't think, but every time we see each other, it's like, it's good. He's good people.
And YouTube Red is starting to take off. They're starting to invest more into original programming.
Yeah.
I just had Rhea Perlman on the show. She just did this new series called Me and My Grandmother on there.
They're
and
making movies, and they're doing, Rhett and Link's show is doing really well on that. I think they were #1 on the download list or something like that. So, and then, so there's the landscape of YouTube is changing, but Epic Studios is right up there with that quality, which is cool. We because we did it up in Toronto, so we pitched up at JFL, which is the Montreal Comedy Festival, and we got financed through the Canada, which is why we shot it up in Toronto, and then got paired
the
up
country
with
of Canada
I love
financed
it,
your show.
right? That's so cool. Take note.
Seriously?
Yeah, the federal government provides money for the arts. So is it that's right? So. Yeah, well, we stole money from a bunch of banks in Canada, basically, is what we did.
I was going to say, I'd never heard of a country investing in a television show. Kudos to you, but...
Yeah, anyway, but it's like... This, I guess the point is it's like really nice and it looks
we need
good
to find
and it sounds good.
we need
We're
to
gonna
open up the books
people.
and find every penny. You're being audited right now. Who gave you this money? So is it a deal where they work it out where you, the production studio, put it all together, and YouTube is just going to be the distribution end of it? Like, they're not really saying too much about how you make the show or the content?
Oh, YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't tell me anything. No,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about YouTube. If it was YouTube Red, that would be a different situation, I think, because...
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Through this whole thing, I thought you said it was part of YouTube
No,
Red.
I think that's the kind of the cool thing
You're
about
doing this on your
show
own channel,
is that
okay.
it's just on my channel, and it's YouTube Red's a subscription basis, and that's cool. But for us and this channel, it's free.
All right, so this is all just whatever you say goes.
Yeah, I mean, with the other people that I work with, but yeah, it's definitely been through the lens of sort of my perspective, and I've had great people working for me that have been able to like execute the decisions that we've made, and yeah, it's been cool. Me and Aaron and Jill are like the other two EPs, like the creative EPs, and we worked a lot on the story and like the characters and what songs we should do. So that really helped drive it.
Is it all done now? Is it all shot and ready to go?
It's all done. Yep,
All right, because
it's
I
all
know
done.
only a couple episodes, like you said, are just being released, and then a little more down the line.
Yeah.
But everything's all shot, done.
Everything's all done. Yeah.
So what's next then? Are you? Because I know you also put out an album not too long ago.
Yeah, I did put out. I'm glad you mentioned that. It's called Here. It's an EP. It's straight up hip hop music. It's good. It's not funny. It's just like the other side of me, which I really am proud of. So probably more music like that. Maybe a second season of Epic Studios. Hopefully will be cool. Probably another Rap Battles tour at some point. I would think. I got a couple of new shows that are maybe coming out that are still sort of on the DL. So there's lots of cool stuff. I've never had like a shortness of things to do.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a great situation to be in.
Yeah.
For the Epic Rap Battles fans, I know the season ended hugely with another round of you versus Peter.
Yeah.
I like not that the first one wasn't good, but the second round was, to use your word, epic. To see how it's a behind the scenes thing. You're fucking with each other, and then you kind of come to conclusion. It's like, look, we're just burnt.
Yeah.
And I felt it was very honest, even though you were playing around. It's just like the amount of work and time it takes to put on this thing. That was a great way to say, look, we love doing this. We'll do it again at some point. We're just so tired. We need to venture out, do some other things, recharge, and then we'll come back. What's the downtime looking like before you come back? We're looking like 2018 or?
I don't know. I mean, we just released that episode in January, so it's just almost May now. So I think probably like a year at least, I would say. I'm not positive. Like we're already doing live shows. We got a monthly show the first Wednesday of every month in Long Beach at D Piazza's Pizza. So if you guys want to come check it out, it's whatever the first Wednesday in May is next week. So we're already like performing together. But I think what the big difference is there's a rap battle set at the end, which is like maybe 40 minutes. But then before that, Pete does a couple of his own songs, and I do a couple of my own songs too. And I think that's a real important part of where he and I both are creatively. And we just want to do our own stuff, have our own voice. I mean, we've been friends for almost 15 years now, way before rap battles ever even happened. So that's stronger than the rap battles, even though it's maybe not as popular. But we were like, man, we want to perform together. We can't help but be creative together. But let's see what else happens. Pete's really like digging into some VR stuff, which he digs, and I'm doing Epic Studios, which has been great. And so I think whatever happens, it's going to be good.
Do you ever switch it up on a tour, and then you maybe try to do one of his songs, and he tries to do one of your songs?
We do like a medley in the middle of the show where we just like back and forth verses, and he'll oftentimes do some of mine. I'll come in on some of his. We basically know all of them so that we can back each other up and do doubles
not
and
the
stuff.
Epic Rap Battle, but like you said, he does some of his own songs and you do some of your own songs.
Oh.
Do you ever try to switch it up once in a while? It's like, I'm going to grab a guitar and try to see if I can do this.
He's the best guy with a guitar in a comedy club I've ever seen. Before rap battles ever happened, and this is not just blowing smoke up his ass, I used to introduce Pete as, he's that comic with a guitar who does it better than you. Like, I could never do what he does. He could sing like Queen songs and like his own songs, and he's incredibly funny. So I think he could probably do some of my rap songs, but I couldn't. I don't think I could pull it off.
So funny if you're just playing the guitar badly and trying to sing his songs.
Yeah, I would be like, it would be funny, maybe for the wrong reasons. You know?
How long do you see yourself doing this? Like all this stuff? Like, is this, you're pretty much set with this can be your life for the rest of your life, doing these kind of projects?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd like to break into, Some mainstream stuff. I'd love to do movies. I'd love to do drama. I think there's guys like, Donald Glover out there now who are so diverse. They're doing like Spider-Man, and they're doing Atlanta, and they're making albums of rap. And I think those are the type of guys that I look at that are like, man, that would be super cool.
Well, now's the time to do it, because go back 10 years ago, everybody would look at Donald Glover stuff and like, he's just a weird dude. It's like, it's not making any sense. People wouldn't, companies wouldn't take the chance on him or invest on these things. And, he's winning awards for Atlanta, and now he's in the new the Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
Like, what a chance he took getting Community and then going in his weird direction, Childish Gambino, all this stuff, and look where it's leading him.
Yeah.
10 years ago, you couldn't do that. So now's the time to be yourself and go in every direction.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal for me, is like, do some projects where I have a ton of creative control and I can really use my voice to express myself, and then do some that are, where I'm a weapon for someone else to wield.
Right. Let's give out the plugs for where everybody can see all your projects here.
Sure.
Obviously, ERB on YouTube for Epic Rap Battles, but for Epic Studios, is it just Epic Studios?
It's Epic Lloyd.
Epic Lloyd.
YouTube.com/Epic Lloyd. Drops tomorrow, April 26th. Yeah, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Epic Lloyd, and then on Facebook is just Epic Lloyd.
And your CDs on iTunes,
CDs
Google
on
Play,
iTunes,
all that?
yeah. And you can catch that. EpicLloyd.com is, you can get a physical CD if you want a signed one that's numbered, or you can just search it on iTunes or Google Play or Spotify or anywhere.
All right. Anything else that we didn't cover that you want to throw out here? Because, look, to be honest, this wasn't a scheduled thing. It was more of an impromptu. I just happened to see you in the hallway and went, holy shit, it's Lloyd. And then you were kind enough to come and do this.
No, thank you very much for having me on. And shout out to Sirius for having me. And it's good to be in the Big Apple.
Oh, well, when you guys are back here for the tour, or even the premiere of... We just did Epic Studios here, but the premiere of your next project, the premiere of the new season of Epic Rap Battles, even if it's just a quick funner, we'd love to have you on there just to promote and talk about where you're going next.
Deal.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Lloyd.
You bet, man.